Oh, yes. Yeah, oh, yeah.
Practice reading.
I think it's where it may be firm. I'm
Yes.
Port Obey and got it.
Yeah.
We were able to talk fire. She's happy to talk.
Alright.
I'd like to call the meeting to order. Would you please join me in the Pledge of Allegiance?
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Would you please take roll?
Councilman Madsen?
Here.
Councilman Montoya?
Here.
Councilman Kaufman?
Here.
Councilman Ellison?
Here.
Mayor Graves?
Here. You have before you an agenda. If there was a change, what's,
Under new business, so H number 7, we need to adopt the fiscal year 23 audit. Or accept.
accept? Any other changes? Hearing none, I would entertain a motion to approve the agenda as amended.
So moved.
Second. Been moved and seconded. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. As for the consent agenda, for the purpose of discussion, I would entertain a motion to approve and place to record the consent agenda items.
So moved.
Second. It's been moved and seconded. Is there discussion on the consent agenda items?
Chief,
Yes, sir.
appreciate all the information that you gave us this month. Really end deal. I do have a question for you.
Yes.
I noticed in your report, you had one cat at large.
Yep.
So, I've been hearing, and I want to know if you've found your department's kind of, I don't know, what do I want to say? Has been following up on this. We've been hearing that there's people feeding cats again in public places. which is not allowed. Have you guys been
We
able
got
to?
one complaint that I'm aware of, I think about a week and a half ago. The officer went and handled that, let them know what the laws were, and explained it to them. So we have, that's the only complaint I know that we've received
Okay,
on the feeding of orange.
okay, thank you.
I'll give you one. I'll give you one complaint.
Okay.
So they're feeding them right, they come down right beside my office between me and the hospital. Where dead end's right there.
Okay.
So they've already been there.
Okay.
So about
Same
5
person
o'clock.
that I probably know who it is.
You probably recognize the car.
Okay.
And then out on the, where the well houses are,
Okay, where you-
where my dogs.
Okay.
So right next to the furthest north well house, there's an Amazon box right, not at the door, right on the other side of the building, be on the south side, full of cat food.
Okay.
So,
Take care of it.
Candy, I was looking on your report under miscellaneous projects. In lieu of changing an ordinance regarding our hazardous waste disposal and costs, I'm assuming that's another 3 reading to it. Is that something maybe we should be trying to get before budget is over so we know what?
It's definitely something we need to discuss, because right now we're accepting it free from town residents, businesses, and county businesses and residents. And it's costing us a lot of money. And so I think if we start charging, at least maybe, county residents, county businesses, I don't know how you guys want to do it, but we just paid $17,000 for that pickup, and we'll do it again here real soon. So,
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. February, March, April, and windows closing fast. If we wanted to work on a 3 reading ordinance to capture that expense going into our new budget for July 1. If we wait till after budget, then we're
yeah. No, we can definitely
quarter of the way
start
in.
working on it.
Any other discussion on the consent agenda items?
I got one question, Miss Candy.
Yes,
On your planning and zoning fee schedule,
yes.
it's got on there, like starting with annexation
Yes.
plus so much for certified mail. What has it been in the past?
So I have what they did, they
Just a
just kind of
comparison.
rounded it up. They just kind of rounded, they don't do an exact amount. So, because some it's less, some, so he's just kind of averaged it. But I can't tell you. Tabitha, would you know what Doug takes in certified mailings? No, I don't know. 3 charges, you mean? What? 3 charges? 3 charges? No, I mean, in the past, like, on the change, like on, let's see, I'm looking at what he did last time. Plus 50% by mailing postage. That's what they charge, that's what they've been charging us for years. $250.
Plus covering the paper.
Plus the newspaper.
Yeah. Okay,
So I can't tell you exactly what it is, but.
okay.
They did, planning and zoning definitely did, went through it, spent some time on it, and took out some stuff that was not necessary, that was in there from the past, previous planner. So. It's consolidated.
Any other comments on the consent agenda items? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion will carry. Now we're on to an oath of office for Officer Russell Swingle. Swingle? Am I saying
Swingle.
that? Swingle? Saying that correct? You doing it, Doug?
Yeah, I'm the notary, so I guess I get to do it. Raise your right hand, please. And repeat after me. I,
I,
Russell Swingle,
Russell Swingle,
do solemnly swear or affirm
do solemnly swear or affirm
that I will support,
that I will support,
obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States
obey, and defend the Constitution of the United States
and the Constitution of the State of Wyoming,
and the Constitution of the State of Wyoming,
that I have not knowingly violated any law related to my officer's position
that I have not knowingly violated any law related to my officer's position
or caused it to be done by others,
or caused to be done by others,
and that I will discharge the duties of my office with fidelity.
and I will discharge the duties of my office with fidelity.
Congratulations. Thank God he's a great addition, because we deal with him on a regular basis.
Well, that means he's busy, so that's
That's
good.
or not?
Stops me every day.
As he should.
I know it. Did they get pictures?
I think that was good.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
All right, moving on to appointments. Currently, we have two open positions on the Board of Adjustments, and we have an applicant. You have before you the questionnaire that the applicant filled out, and the applicant is here if you'd like to question her or visit with her about anything. There's also a recommendation from Planner Dumont in there, so I guess what would be the will of the council, because I would recommend to appoint Kimber Crawford to the Board of Adjustments at this time.
Is that you?
Yeah.
Okay. Don't call me sir.
Okay.
I second that.
Need a motion here?
Yep.
Make a motion to approve Kimber Crawford's application to the Board of Adjustments.
I'll second that. Attorney did.
It has been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion will carry. Welcome aboard.
Thank you.
Two back there are smiling, so this will be good.
Petitions, memorials, proclamations, and public comments. You have a couple of public comments in your packet. If you see employee Peyton Green around, thank him for his service. He helped Dean Vermillion out in kind of a tough situation. And Services for Seniors is thanking us for the assistance on getting the flagpole rope repaired. I'm not sure which department did that, but thank you for taking care of the flagpole for the senior center.
I'm assuming it was electric
I'm
department.
assuming so also. He's shaking his head yes. Thank you for that.
Anytime.
Generally, Tracy, do you like to speak in this section? Do you have anything for us today?
I do. Good evening. I trust that you received your economic report for the month of December. We're always working kind of a month behind when we're collecting that data. And things really hadn't changed a whole lot from November to December. There were fewer houses for sale in December than in November. November, it looks like there were 25, and then in December there were 18. So either people pulled them off the market or there was some sales there. Everything else pretty much stayed the same. School enrollment stayed the same pretty much. Utility users, employment, we are below, Platte County is below the state average. We're at 2.9% unemployment. The state's at 3%. So our employment rate is maintaining, staying down there real low. Our sales and tax collections for Platte County were down across the board, and that was as of January 5th. So looks like maybe from the month previous, everybody was doing their Christmas shopping, in December, and then Christmas ended, and kind of so did some of the spending, it looked like. So that was probably to be expected as well. I've talked to both the realtor and the owner of the new owner of the old Burger King building. That building has closed now in terms of the sale, so the sale did go through. And the owner of Wendy's told me that at this point he's waiting for the start date for his general contractor. He has his contractor lined up, and he said, he didn't tell me who it was, but he said he's from Wyoming. So that's in the works, it's still moving forward. The rare earth minerals article that I sent, I don't know if you had a chance to read that or not, but I think it's sounds like it could be huge for Albany County and Platte County. It's the Halleck Creek site, and they're talking about deposits of rare earth minerals that could be worth up to $37 billion. So if this really does come through, it could have a big impact on Wheatland. So I think that's something that we should really be watching. And I've reached out to the company and I haven't heard back, but I was wondering if there was anything else they could share with us that wasn't in the article. So if I hear back, I'll let you know what they have to report. And I don't know if you watched that YouTube video that I sent the link for, but if you haven't, I think that video is interesting as well. It's pretty short and full of information. Let's see. I have met with a couple different people here in Wheatland that are interested in starting businesses. So at this point in time, they're just getting started. I'm working with them right now on their business plans, and then talking to them about different options for financing. So some more business activity interest. So busy start to the year. Do you all have any questions or anything for me?
Thanks, Tracy.
Thank you.
All right, thank you. Thanks for the time.
Is there any other public comment at this time?
I'm back. So I'm from the Chamber of Commerce, and we are starting our new year off pretty busy. We have set up a lunch and learn for the 30th of January, in which we will have Representative Harrelson and a representative from the Wyoming Taxpayers Association coming to give a legislative update and to just talk about what our government is up to. We'll be having that at the Platte Valley Bank Conference Center. You can call my office if anybody wants to be there. Lunch is provided. February 3rd is our 25th annual Egg Appreciation Banquet. So we are getting all of that going, and we are looking for somebody to appreciate. So we're taking nominations and gearing up for all of that. This year, we combined our scholarship program in with the banquet, so we're going to do a silent auction to try to raise some funds to give kids some money to go to college. The one thing about our scholarship program is we do 4 high schoolers, so one each of the schools, Glendo, Chugwater, Wheatland, and Guernsey. But then we also do for one adult in the community. That is continuing education. So we hardly ever get any applicants for the adult spot. So anybody wants to get smarter, I got money. And then the state of Wyoming has decided to change their process for park passes again. And it has been nothing but a disaster. They are still having tons of issues with all of that. We've got trainings and software and none of it works. So because of that, they have extended, if you have an annual park pass, it is good until February 29th. And they hope to have all of the trouble worked out by then. So don't throw away your old stickers. Any questions?
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you. And is this the start of a trend? Do I need to remember to recognize you like I do Tracy? Is this the start of a trend?
Yes.
Oh, that was begrudging. I like it.
This is the favorite part of my job.
You have to smile and talk nice. I'll pay for that later, by the way.
Meet me outside. We'll chat.
Is there any other public comment at this time? Hearing none, we'll move on to unfinished business item number 1, which is ordinance 846, which is the minimum requirements for a bar and grill license holder. It's on third and final reading. Did we get all the changes and everything that we desire in here?
I think so.
Everybody's good?
I think that's what you requested.
Well, I had sent off an email thing for the under F, and I just had put the establishment shall provide exterior signage, and this is more for the benefit of the consumer. Just that we do have some sort of signage that we have a bar and grill, or when they come off the interstate, or we use the word economic development, make sure they can find you. And I just think, I know it sounds simple, but I think there should be some signage to know where it's at.
You mean on the building?
On the building.
Personally, I'd like to take out section 2. And the reason for that is here just a couple months ago, we awarded a liquor license, a bar and grill liquor license. And at that time, it was Rick Bowen. He met the qualifications to get that license. And then 2 months later, they were changing it. I mean, at the time, the council awarded the license. And now with this section 2, which says existing bar and grill liquor license holders are required to meet the requirements in this ordinance before the renewal application for the year 2025. I think that him or anybody else should be exempt.
Could I address this? Liquor license change all the time. And you don't, if you had a liquor license in 1960 and it said these are the rules.
Yeah.
And they change the rules, you have to abide by the new rules.
Right, but right now we're making the rules, for the town. And I just feel that there's a right and a wrong, and I think this is wrong.
Well, that's a decision you have to make. I just want to make it clear that the council can change these rules.
Sure, I understand
Change the
that.
rule, the state could change these rules and say, listen, you have to do this. And in fact, to be quite frank, and I don't care what you do, I think Rick Bowen understood that at the end of that meeting, I think Councilman Madsen said, we're going to look at this and have an ordinance to describe what a bar and grill had to do.
Sure, and I understand that, and I understood that. But I also, in my mind, understood that he would be exempt from that because he had already been awarded that. So last week when we sat down, I didn't even get to put eyes on this until I came to the council meeting and seen these changes. Please let me finish. And I seen these changes, and at that time I'm like, I don't agree with that. But I knew we had a third reading, so that's all I'm doing. Because when you have an ordinance, you get three shots at it, and you can make changes to the ordinance. And all I'm saying is I would like to see section 2 eliminated out of this. Now, I don't know what these guys feel about it.
And that's you guys' choice. I'm just telling you that ordinances and laws change and businesses have to adapt each and every time. There's nothing magical about saying on year one, I had a liquor license and I never have to abide by the new rules. And so it's just a choice you have to make. And whatever you make, we'll make sure it's changed in the ordinance.
Yeah, well, I agree with that, like Alan was saying, that, we need to make an ordinance to have minimum qualifications. All I'm saying is that he came in here and under the state rules, he qualified. Now, 2 months later, we're saying he doesn't qualify. It's like giving a little kid a sucker and then just saying psych, I just don't think that's right.
Well,
That's my opinion.
I think we did discuss it, because that's why I voted no for his bar and grill license, because we were talking at the time that the state now was letting the local authority have some say too, in addition to what they have for statutes. And being we just wanted to move forward, based on what you're saying, Tony, you thought what he did for the state met the requirements then, but that's why I said I'm going to vote no, because I think there needed to be a definition, a minimum requirements for a bar and grill, and more for the consumer's use. It's an economic tool. I mean, hiring people, and you go to any, I know it may sound simple, you can go to, everybody's been to a bar and grill or grill and knows what's supposed to be at the grill, but this just gave a little bit of a roadmap to simple definitions of what a bar and grill is. You just don't willy-nilly get bar and grill licenses. I think, Doug, you made the comment, sell hot dogs off a cart, but so I would say I disagree. Mr. Bowen knew at that time we were going to talk about getting a definition. I don't know if we talked about the time frame that you become compliant with the minimum requirements of it. I don't think there's anything that difficult on there for his bar and grill to meet the minimum requirements, or anybody in the future. I think it's just, at least we now have a roadmap what a bar and grill license is. So, I think it's just, that's where I'm at.
No, I agree with your minimum requirements. I do. I just don't like Section 2. That's the only thing I don't like.
You're looking to grant anyone who's previously been approved for one of these licenses, Tony, you're looking to grandfather them in.
Yeah.
This would be going forward.
Yeah. But that's just, like I said, that's just my opinion on it.
I think it's
Could I ask a question? So we're clear on F, and you guys haven't voted on it. Would this language work? The establishment shall place signage on the building designating it as a bar and grill. Is that what you were looking for?
Yeah, that's fine.
That would be F, Tony.
Would it have to be on the building?
Well, that's what he wants. He wants signage
I
so
would say
people,
the property. I'm not saying signage up and down the interstate or anywhere else, but
Oh,
on the
sure.
property.
Okay.
on the property, or not just the building, but just the property.
Either way, I mean,
Yeah, 'cause I noticed the Commodores has a new sign
Yeah.
that mentions it. It's not in the building.
Building/property, will that work?
sure.
I'm just putting signage on the building/property.
So Rick being grandfather, then B, C, and D, or BC would also be omitted also
I think what
under Rick's.
Mr. Montoya would like is that section 2 be taken out, and then all A, B, C, D, and F would apply.
What about E?
I mean E, I'm sorry, all A through F.
I'd like to speak.
Okay.
On B, I don't think it's the city's directive to establish what a full course meal is, on section B. I'd like to omit that in red. And then on C, I'd like to omit, after dedicated tables and chairs, omit where full course meals must be served and consumed.
Are you taking out full course or just taking out it?
Where full course meals must be served and consumed.
So it wouldn't make any sense if you put the meal shall include that cannot be conveniently consumed while standing or walking. You mean the menu shall include meals that cannot, not full course meals? That's what I'm asking.
So on B, he just wants it to read the establishment applicant has
As
a
a
menu.
menu, is that all
period.
you want?
Yeah.
And they can wander around with their hot dog. And then you want the same thing, that
Oh,
you
yeah,
don't have to have a dining area.
I didn't say that. Has a dining area with dedicated tables and chairs. But then omit where the full course meals must be served and consumed.
Dictate what they have to serve. If they have to serve. That's what he wants to remove, what they have to
So I don't think who's the other ones? Country Club or Windy Peaks, we didn't dictate to them what meals in the past they were gonna serve. Did we?
I think they probably qualify. They always have.
They went above and beyond.
I think at that point it was, they were following the description of a restaurant,
Yes, in the
and now
statutory
it's
scheme.
not. And doing
And
all this,
kudos to them.
on like E, if we do this where Windy Peaks and Skippers aren't part of this, E is gonna be really hard to track for the future clerks that aren't familiar with all of this. You know, if we're having some have to have 50% food and the rest don't, or it's just gonna be confusing.
Just one man's opinion.
You guys have to do something. You can't, somebody has to make motions or do
So
something.
how do you define grandfather? Because, Rick he's had his license for 3 months and he knew we were gonna try to define it. I don't know how that gets grandfathered, but I understand the country club and the ones that have been around and like you said, have menus and followed pretty much the restaurant. Pretty much bar and grill. You think grill, you think restaurant. And if you look under the statute under restaurant, it talks about non-walking food. Pretty much everything we have here. But if, it just seems like Mr. Bowen's situation didn't seem long enough to be considered grandfathered when we talked about it at that meeting, but that's just my thing.
You can make the renewal application. He has to comply the year 2026. It gives him a lot of time to.
Do that?
Yeah.
You can certainly do that.
I'm open to that.
So in section C, we take out the last part of that sentence where the full course meals must be served and consumed. Okay. We establish section F, establishing signage on property and or building.
And section B. That's what I'm asking.
What's that?
And section B,
Oh, for take out full course meals, right?
Okay. We just wanted to say the establishment applicant has a menu.
correct. Like I say, just one man's opinion. Sorry.
No, it's fine. It's a working document, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tony, would you be happy with section 2 if we extended it a year? Give them a little more time to comply? Or no?
You know, I'd be okay with another year.
You okay? Give them a little time to get established. I'm with you. I think, but I also think that Rick knew what we were intending to do when we approved his license. I think everybody was on the same page there. So if we give him another year to comply, I would be happy with that.
Can I do that? And on Mr. Allison's thing, on B and C, if you're not careful, you're not gonna be consistent. And I think, I don't have a problem if you say the menu shall include meals that cannot be conveniently consumed while standing, instead of having full course. Just take meals. And then because the next one, you say you have to have a dining area with dedicated tables and chairs
Correct.
where the meal must be served and consumed.
Okay, I'll scun it back, Mr. Weaver, of omit full course.
And just leave meals. And what I
I understand what you're saying, yes.
and what they were trying to do is, I'm not saying you have to have steak or anything, but have a hamburger and fry and something like that where it's on the menu. And that doesn't mean that Rick and every bar and grill can't say, geez, we're gonna serve hot dogs and
Pizza.
I don't know. But hot dogs and macaroni and cheese or something like that. I mean,
Right.
and so if we took out full course, it would be meals. And it makes more sense, because if you're gonna have tables and chairs, you know,
Sit down.
right.
I'll be good with that. Remove.
And
Full
item
course.
B, we're taking full course out.
And also in C, where
Yes.
where the meals must be served and consumed.
Okay.
And then 26, it gives them 2 years to try to comply or whoever.
It's a good idea.
And then F says the establishment shall place signage on the building/property designating it as a bar and grill. Does that take care of that? And Mr. Madsen said something. If this doesn't work out, Rick can always come and say, listen, this really isn't working. Here's what I'd like you guys to consider. Because it's not set in stone.
Right.
And so he could come back and say, you know,
Argue his point.
yeah, or he could say, I can do this and do that and stuff. And, because I don't think the country club is applying for their bar and grill.
They're not applying to renew.
They're not renewing. But Wendy, whatever that,
Nessie's.
Nessie's,
Yeah.
they did not reapply. So are those your amendments, Mr. Cobb?
Yeah.
You gonna take a stab at a motion?
Yeah.
Well, I got a question while you're thinking of it. So then, so Mr. Bowen then, so he'll know, he'll follow the state statute, and then he can worry about this in 2 years.
2 years.
So he's got to keep 2 bartenders, and actually, I think this benefits him percentage-wise on gross sales versus what the state statute.
It doesn't. I think it says 60 and we
You lowered it,
We
you put it
lowered
to 50, so,
50.
so he, between now and then, he can't, not 50, he's got to follow whatever.
And I don't know, I don't go up there but I think the gaming commission and the liquor commission said, you gotta have closed doors, separate entrances. You can't serve the beer and the liquor and alcohol from the Commodores. You have to have a separate location and stuff.
Separate staff.
I'm assuming he's doing that.
Yeah, no, I was just saying, so he knows, he's.
And
gonna
he knows,
have
and
that.
that's what they told him he had to do. And
That would be him.
so here's what I would do. I'd move to amend on third and final reading. Approve it with the following amendments. On B, in the red, it would read, the menu shall include meals that cannot be conveniently consumed while standing or walking. And then C would be, the establishment has a dining area
area with dedicated tables and chairs where the meals must be served and consumed. And then you would add F, the establishment shall place signage on the building/property designating it as a bar and grill. And then in section 2, you would amend it the year 2025 to 2026.
Okay.
Is that what you guys talked about?
I think that's where we are, right? Okay. I'll make a motion to approve ordinance number 846 on the third and final reading with the amendments to section 1, paragraph B, to read, the establishment applicant has a menu. The menu shall include meals that cannot be conveniently consumed while standing or walking. Also in section 1, paragraph C, the establishment applicant has a dining area with dedicated tables and chairs where the meals must be served and consumed. We're also adding section F to establish signage on the property/building designating it as a bar and grill. And then in section 2, we are changing it to read, existing bar and grill liquor license holders are required to meet the requirements in this ordinance before the renewal application for the year 2026.
One more time.
It's been moved. Do we have a second?
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. Moving on to ordinance 847, which is a rezone to 704 16th Street, residential district to general business district, third and final reading.
I'd like to make a motion, we approve ordinance 847, rezoning 704 16th Street, town of Wheatland. More particularly described below.
Second.
And moved and seconded on third and final reading to approve ordinance number 847. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion will carry. Moving on to the Black Mountain Electric Phase 2 update. And it looks like we have Darren here not Darren. A representative here to speak to maybe where we're at and give us an update. And looks like engineer and Preston and ECI and
So I'm Randy with Electrical Connections. I'm the project manager taking over now. Been down here for about 2 months, trying to get everything squared away, and we're actually making some progress.
that feels like forward progress.
No, it's more steps forward than backwards right now, so we're kind of gaining. So currently we're pulled in from 19th and Hope Street over to the J-Can in front of the school. Cleaned up a bunch of the messes that were left over in that area.
Really?
Cleaned up substantially.
I'm being facetious.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, that's substantially better than what it was 2 months ago. They're pulled in from 22nd, 23rd, and 24th Streets up to the J-Can at the corner of just north of the corner of Basin and 24th. We've been working through Basin Avenue the last little bit, trying to figure out issues that we've come across in there. We've dug up a bunch of people's yards, which unfortunately happens, but we've got all those things looking better. The splices are good. We have one more about 150 feet off the corner of 21st down Basin that we have to fix, that will get done tomorrow. Have that backfilled and cleaned up. And we'll start pulling wire down Basin from the J-Can to the J-Can, and then that'll kind of complete that upper section. We'll drop back down onto West Johnston from the J-Can and start getting that stuff pulled up through 22nd, 23rd, 24th. And then we'll be able to start setting equipment, which will allow us to start powering stuff up down through the bottom end and kind of make it look a little better. So we were able to dig out the stuff on 24th and South Street and get that, get Cousin Eddie out of the corner there and taken care of, so.
Thank you.
Yeah. So that's kind of,
Cousin.
we've been jumping around trying to get this stuff kind of lined out into a direction that we can work with. And I think we're finally getting a little closer. So, you guys have any questions?
I don't.
What about the new boring crew or what's?
We're supposed to have a new boring crew coming in. I think it's Bingham Directional Drilling out of Eagle Mountain, Utah. So I'm gonna do a little bit of digging on the interweb and see what I can find with those guys, and I'm sure Dave and Preston are gonna be doing that with me, and we'll figure out if they're gonna be the right fit for us. We don't need another issue like we had previously. So I mean, I was supposed to be here for 12 days to get wire pulled, and I've been here for 2.5 months. So I'd like to get this project completed for you guys.
Well, and I don't know, Council, if all of you know, but since Randy's been on, we've gotten lots of compliments from people in the neighborhood. They're happy with his work. Him and his crew have came in and are fixing problems and issues that were caused by the mooring crew. So these guys are, I guess I want to say the good guys.
I'm trying. So
Yeah, I live out there. It's night and day. I actually saw one of your guys sweeping a sidewalk, clearing dirt off. I haven't heard any cuss words, no fights, anything in the neighborhood, so it's a lot nicer to have you guys out there.
that's a big change.
Yeah.
So we haven't yelled at any passerbys yet. So
Yeah, no, you guys noticeably different.
As far as dirt, loose dirt in the street, where you got to clean that up also.
We're trying to keep it minimized. I had my guys clean up the corner of 21st and Mason, where we had the dirt pile behind the camper. They got that cleaned up on Friday. We've got a couple little spots that we got to work, but with the snow that we got, it kind of complicates things. I think we have just a little bit of gravel that we got to spread back on where that switch and J can go. That they got pushed out of that area before I got there, so it's still sitting on the sidewalk. But we don't want to try scooping dirt and snow and everything else around and make a bigger mess.
Well, we appreciate your due diligence.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Anything to add, Preston?
I'll pitch in a little bit. So we have a lot more good reviews from homeowners in the neighborhood, a lot more relief with these guys coming in and fixing everything and not leaving holes and disasters for a long amount of time. A lot more skin in the game for public safety too, getting better fences up, making sure they're up. They're working longer hours, they're dedicated to it. They're not causing a ruckus out there for everybody, they're just trying to get it done. And being real proactive in getting a hold of us and letting us know the landscaping and stuff that's going to be further down the road instead of just hiding it, hoping we don't see or hear about it in the spring. And night and day, a lot of steps back, but a lot more forward. And I think we're in a pretty good position right now, depending what we get for another boring crew. But the stuff that's been put in is just about to what we paid for and what we expect out of them. It's getting fixed right. So I think we're at a pretty good spot. Progress is going to start moving forward a lot quicker. Outages are going to be coordinated like the school, we missed our window there for Christmas break. It's gonna be looking like a day where students and staff both go home on Friday. We do what we can Friday, working in Saturday. Coordinate that with the school. And I have to coordinate a lot with Black Hills Energy to make sure homeowners are home. They can get into light their gas and everything afterwards. It's gonna be a lot of people involved when the outages happen, but I do believe we're well prepared for that at this point. So nothing but good on my. We're moving forward and better. Thanks for bringing us in to talk about it with you.
No, I appreciate it. It's nice to not see you in the neighborhood, because if you're in the neighborhood, I know things are going south. So
Now when I'm over
have
there,
to watch
to-
over them as this crew. So that's just good.
we're there to see it's fixed right this time. You know, when we show up, it's not something that's hidden there. Like, here's what we've done, and it's correct.
Before you're babysitting and
Yep.
weren't getting into your regular day-to-day stuff. So this is
No
great.
more duct tape.
They document everything they find that's been incorrect, show it to us and document it. When it's fixed right, approval, it's buried, and we're moving forward quick. It's been good. No more duct tape. Thank you.
All right, we'll move on to new business, item number 1, which is ordinance number 848, which is an ordinance updating the Wheatland Municipal Code on first reading.
So, Mayor, Council, this is an ordinance that the building inspector and the planner have worked on. The planner was unable to be here tonight, but I can try and answer questions that you have, and if not, he'll be here next meeting. The one major on the back page 8, where we have, I put an updated
I'll say,
ordinance.
so you want us to reference?
Yeah, look at the
what
one
lane?
I put on your table. We just kind of worked on some wording on that today, but this pretty much is making where planning and zoning shall make a decision. We've had an instance where no decision was made, and it's really not fair to the applicant when no decision is made. So this one says they shall make, they have 5 options there: approve the request, approve with stipulations, postpone to a definite time, postpone indefinitely, or deny the request. Nothing's really changed on those 5. But on C, we did put, unless a quorum of the board is not present, failure to take an action described in subsection B shall result in approval of the request. So if they don't take any action, it's an approval. And then on D, it's in the event that a quorum of the board is not present, the request shall be heard at the next regularly scheduled meeting, at the cost for this postponement shall be at the town's expense. So we did add that, trying to eliminate where they need to make a motion, a decision. And up on like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, it's pretty much addressing setbacks, special use permits, side yard, rear yard. Need further details, the planner will be here next month. He's at an avalanche game. He's at an avalanche game.
Is that a hockey game?
I'll make a motion to
I'll second you.
ordinance number 848, first reading.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion carries. New business item number 2 is resolution number 01-2024, which is a building permit fee schedule.
So there was, no changes on this from the previous year. The state off.
Make a motion to approve resolution 01-2024.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Item number 3 is the pool resurfacing. The action item will be to accept the bid and review the agreement.
So, Building Inspector Walter Martin took this project on, helping me, and he did a good job. He put it out for bid. We received 2 bids, but one was incomplete, so we threw it out. Walter did his recommendation here. It is in your packets. There was 2 options in the bid from Mid-America Pool renovation, and one was for $200,000 for the plaster finish and $265,000 for the white glass system, which is right here. It has a 25-year warranty on it, and the plaster finish has a 5-year warranty. But one thing I did want to note was when they were here looking at the pool, they felt the pool itself was in really good shape. You know, it definitely, the plaster needs replaced and it needs some work, but the infrastructure of the pool, he felt for the age of the pool was in really great shape. So he felt that it could definitely go another 25 years if you chose to do the glass finish. And with last year with Basin helping us fix the mechanical part of it, might be okay with the pool for a while, but it is higher than we budgeted. And this is the one where Parks and Rec did budget $47,000 to help us with this.
Kenny, I'm just curious,
Mhm.
in this, when they talk about properly winterized, do they expect you to have the lap pool covered and then the kiddie pool covered for this?
I don't think so. That Steve Pollock had asked for them to put in the price for the council to consider buying pool covers.
So it wouldn't affect, you don't think it'll affect the 20? That's all I was concerned about, because they listed that on the back page, and I was more worried if,
That was just an addition Steve Pollock had requested.
You know, he thought that pool could go another 25 years, huh?
Yeah, actually, he said he was very impressed with
The stainless liner.
Oh, yeah.
for the age of the pool and everything.
I was reading in there,
And they
Not
said if you have trouble.
misquote me or whatever. Do we need to, lap lines in there?
Yes, and the left lines are in there now.
Right.
Yeah.
So we've allocated 130.
We allocated, 134,810. Parks and Rec was putting in 47,000. So budgeted was 181,810.
Do it upright. A short 84.
Excuse me, sorry.
Oh, I was gonna say to do it upright, the 265, we're short about 84,000, or it'd have to be a budget amendment.
Yeah.
Well, if 200,000 just buys you a 5-year warranty, another 20 years beyond that for 65,000 should seems to make sense to do that. The white inner glass system.
and the contract isn't quite finished, and Candy and I have been talking about it. They submitted, the other one didn't do this, and they didn't fulfill the requirements, but they have a bid bond, they submitted the bid bond. They'll have to do a performance and a payment bond before we give them to proceed thing, and that needs to be in their contract. Plus, we have some minor changes, but they've been really agreeable to all the changes that we talked about today. And I think you have to have some deadlines in it, but I think Other than that, I didn't see any real issues, just to make sure that before they proceeded, we had in our hands the performance and the payment bond.
So would there be a window, a period of time that we'd want this completed by before?
That's what I did.
We put in, and we'll have to add that, I think, to the contract too, but we put in, when we put it out for bid by May 24th, I think was the
Work is
deadline.
complete.
So other than that, I think it's all, if you wanted to approve, you could approve that, the inner glass system and the contract subject to me finalizing the terms. And it's really the bonds that we need to make sure we have.
You know if these are the guys that did Douglas's?
I don't know that. I wouldn't say it's a reference.
Would you?
Douglas. If they did Douglas, Douglas' pool looks awesome. They had it done last spring. That's right. So I thought the need for us to do ours budget time. I was just curious.
Who they do have?
Clinton, Missouri.
Durango, Colorado.
Oh, that's fine. I was just curious because I saw how nice. I'm sure this would look just as nice, and especially with that kind of warranty, pretty safe that they know what they're doing.
This is the day of fun motions, isn't it? Yeah. Okay, so here we go. I'm gonna make a motion to approve and accept the bid from Mid-America Pool Renovation for the inner glass system. The motion would be for $265,000, and we're waiting on some final contract issues. Approved for now. Sound okay?
Yes.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion will carry.
Who seconded that?
Tony. Councilman Montoya, sorry.
I think if Parks and Rec want pool covers for the lap pool and the kiddie, I think they could kick in, don't you?
Yeah, so I'm thinking.
Aren't you on the pool committee?
I am. Probably not anymore.
And
Not if
council.
it's been out for 25 years.
Be hard to get a new one now.
See how receptive they are.
We can work at fixing up the locker rooms and doing that stuff. Work at fixing up the locker rooms and, modernizing all of that.
Oh, good.
If they're not requiring covers to make their warranty good,
That's all I was worried
Yeah.
about.
there's plenty of things to fix over there.
You get that in writing.
What, the pool covers are required?
For the warranty.
Sure could. Just make note of that.
So new business item number 4 would be the Steinhausen purchase and lease agreements, and I just give us an update, Doug, kind of where we're at.
I did some drafts. I think I let the mayor know last Sunday. I sent them out to Josh, our engineer. He looked at them, made some changes. Mr. Steinhausen's attorney is Frank Jones, and he's not in town for 3 weeks. He's out selling coins, I think, for right now. So he'll be back. But the changes weren't very major with that Josh had. I mean, there's just some cleanup and for you, so you know, there's really 2 sections. It's the demolished section and then the ones that he could still use. And so we kind of have 2 weird kind of agreements in sort of a way. The offer that we're going to send to him, and he knows this, is that we would like him to, would require him to clean up and have new hangars built in that the collapsed area in a certain time period. And if not, then we own the land and he doesn't get to build on hangers on it. And then the other one he can refuse.
So we're buying all of his?
But I think all of them on that back row, and I don't know, I think all of his. The collapse, what we're doing really is buying the land, because the one, there's no hangers there, so we're buying the land. And then he has a certain amount of time to clean that up.
One where there's no hangar, he actually owns about that lot to have access to the back ones.
I can't tell you what, all I have.
I didn't know which we were buying.
Yeah, and I'll share that with you. I just, they sent me they had the surveyors give us a picture of it, so
Didn't he help you buy that now?
I don't know.
Like what?
Those 2 lots that he used to get access to that back row?
Daryl owned his own,
He had a different one.
yeah, up there on the far south end, I think. I can't remember where that goes. And that's how.
So that's where we're at, and I'll continue to work on it.
So is it a lengthy time frame for cleanup? Or can you share that?
It's probably longer, it's a lengthy time to clean and have hangars built. When I say lengthy, and he could say he needs longer, so we're gonna give a proposal on, I think it's a long time, but that's what Josh thought he'd need.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
So then we are to, would entertain a motion to approve the bank depositories for the town of Wheatland to be First State Bank, Rolling Hills Bank, and Platte Valley Bank.
I'll make a motion to approve the bank depositories or First State Bank, Rolling Hills Bank, and Platte Valley Bank.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion?
This is for calendar year 2020.
Yeah, for calendar year 2024. Sorry. Does that change your motion?
Absolutely not.
Okay, just had to check. All in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. And again, would ask for a motion for approval of newspaper of record to be the Platte County Record Times for the calendar year 2024.
I make a motion, we approve Platte County Record Times for the calendar year 2024.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. Motion will carry. And last new business item is number 7, which is to accept the fiscal year audit for 2023. Would entertain a motion for that.
Make a motion to accept the fiscal year 2023 audits.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any further discussion? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed, same sign. That motion carries. One other thing to touch on is that the next regularly scheduled meeting will be February 12th right here. And with that, we will adjourn. That wasn't expensive.
You want score?
No.